Are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Welcome back for Working Fans Presents Horror Business, episode 15. And today we are talking The Ring 2. And this was directed by Hideo Nakata. It's an hour and 50 minutes. So once again, hitting that longer range. But I'm a big fan of the Ring series, so I didn't find the time off-putting. It came out in 2005, rated PG-13. And I'm amazed that I enjoy the Ring series as much as I do with a PG-13 rating. Now, ratings shouldn't necessarily matter, but R-rated horror movies tend to be people's favorites. But when you have that PG-13 rating, you get the scares in more interesting ways. Now, this had an estimated budget of $50 million. Its opening weekend in US and Canada was $35,065,237, and that was March 20th, 2005 that it opened. It grossed $76,231,249 in the US and Canada, and worldwide it did $163,995,949. This movie, it's about a high school student named Jake tries to make his girlfriend Emily watch a cursed tape. Similar, introducing the tape early on in the movie. But then Jake finds out that Emily covered her eyes and didn't watch the tape, and then Jake is killed by Samara Morgan. Rachel Keller learns of Jake's death and finds his twisted body in the back of an ambulance. Rachel then realizes once again she has to save her son Aiden from Samara. Now, in this movie, Rachel has moved. Her and Aiden have started life in a different area. And, this is the horrific reveal when she hears about this kid dying is, wait, you said his face was twisted? So she goes to search him out and then just gets pulled into the whole Ring, situation all over again. Naomi Watts returns as Rachel, David Dorfman as Aiden. Sissy Spacek is Evelyn, that's Samara's birth mother in this movie. Simon Baker is Max Rourke. Elizabeth Perkins is Dr. Emma Temple. Gary Cole plays Martin Savita. He's the real estate agent who is at the Morgan's house that they're trying to sell now. Ryan Merriman is Jake. Emily Van Camp is Emily. Kelly Overton is Betsy. James LaSure is the doctor. DeVay Chase is Samara. And Kelly Stables is Evil Samara. Now, my thoughts on this movie, I thought it was an interesting sequel. Not bad, but I wasn't as fond of this movie as the original. They try and do some things to mirror the first one, like the random images they show that kind of, are inspired by the tape or inspired by Samara's situation. I thought they were way creepier in the first one. I thought this movie had a good ending. IMDb gave it a rating of 5.4 out of 10. I would have easily given it a 6.5 or a 7 because, it wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't bad. If you like the Ring series, I think you'll like this as well. But what I know you like is these mid-show reads. As always, we are brought to you by the Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 1, written by Vinnie Barry, as well as Lance by Chance. And both of these books are available at WrestleVille.com. And all the books that I'm going to list now are available on Amazon.com, including Super Vows and Pas de Deux, written by friend of the show, Kevin Kelton. I'll Be Here All Week, and All That's Left, written by Ward Anderson, as well as his stand-up special. Blood and Fire, the unbelievable real-life story of wrestling's original Sheik, written by Brian R. Solomon. How Not to Suck at Comedy by Pat Oates. Matt Memories by John Arezzi and Greg Oliver. If you're an artist in Connecticut and you're looking for studio time, check out the people over at Connecticut People Records and check out our wrestling commentary home of New Heights Wrestling. Now, some fun facts about this movie. During the filming of a carnival scene, locals mistook the set for an actual carnival and wandered in, and they included them as extras in the film. Even with 3 artists, Samara's makeup took over 5 hours to complete. Naomi Watts was disinterested in filming the sequel after seeing the script, but begrudgingly appeared in the film due to contractual obligations. And I can see it. I thought the first movie was like real tight in its story, and this one was just, it felt like a reason to bring it back. Now, Hideo Nakata has disowned the film and claims to hate it. He blames the film's negative reception from fans and critics on studio interference, as Paramount executives would step in during the shoot and either force him to reshoot key sequences, delete certain scenes, or change existing scenes until they bore little resemblance to what Nakata had in mind. There is a reference to Dr. Koji, or a reference to Dr. Koji by the psychiatrist Dr. Emma Temple. This is a nod to the original writer of the books, Koji Suzuki, and not friend of the show, Dave Koji, as we would have thought. Now, according to the production notes, there were bizarre incidents on set of life imitating art. On the 7th day, the production office was discovered to have flooded overnight, the result of a burst water pipe. And water is a strong theme in this film. In response, director Hideo Nakata requested a Japanese purification ceremony be carried out by a Shinto minister, but the strange incidents continued. While on location, a swarm of bees descended on the prop truck, prompting the immediate evacuation of the department before the bees left as quickly as they arrived. For no apparent reason, a 5-gallon water jug burst open in the production office kitchen, once again flooding the same room that had flooded earlier. And one morning in the Universal set, a set director stepped out of the parking garage to discover an antlered deer charging across the asphalt in her direction. Though deer are a regular occurrence in the hills, the similarity to the deer attack in the film is uncanny. Now, it's interesting that you'd be doing this cursed movie and have these incidents happen. Sure, it's a bunch of coincidences, but I'm sure when you're doing a movie like that, you feel a bad energy around. But what you don't feel a bad energy about is tomorrow, because tomorrow night's movie review is Rings, the more recent sequel to these set of movies. And then Friday, we're doing Ouija. Saturday, Ouija Origin of Evil. And then Sunday, the 16th, we're kicking off a whole new week with a whole new movie. We are doing the Hills Have Eyes original. So thank you for joining us. Share, like, hit the notification bell, subscribe, do whatever you got to do on YouTube to keep getting these videos when they come out. And thank you for joining us.